Hey everyone, welcome to Booster Tutor. I'm Brandon. Today we're doing some sealed practice. I know PPTQs are coming up, so some of those are sealed. I like to go to those if I can. They're never on Sundays though, sadly. So, got ourselves an Hour of Devastation pre-release. It has the same now packs for sealed, 2 Amonkhet for Hour of Devastation. Open it up, not use the pre-release card of course, but just try and make a sealed pull out of it. And then I'm going to go over every 2 color combination there is for them. So that's 10 decks I'm going to make. Figure out which one's the best. Woo! Alright, let's get started. Alright. So, going to be using, of course, pre-release pack. Since that's what you use for sealed, basically. 4 packs of Hour, 2 packs of Amonkhet. I'm not going to use the pre-release card for this, because you're not going to get those for a sealed. But, it'd be nice to see what it is. And how do you open this thing? Okay, there we go. And it is Reason to Believe. Okay, whatever. Oh, that's right, red die. Okay, 4 Amonkhet. Alright, let's do Amonkhet first. See what we get. Combat Celebrant, okay. Stir the Sands. So good, uncommon, fine mythic. Oh, Game of the Trials. Probably gonna go white then. Gotta, nope. Crasher's okay. Two mythics, wow. Okay, this might be a little interesting for sealed. Pride, like him. Sunset Pyramid, Struggle. Ooh, our red. Pretty good. I hope the white's good enough to run Gideon. Pride is not a boat, foil land, and Kafnet's Last Word. Saving Grace. Hey, green's okay there. Foil Manticore and Bontu's Last. Was just getting every color. That's not helping us at all. Okay. Last pack. So it should be probably an artifact. God Pharaoh's Gift. Okay, it's an artifact. That works. How did that even happen? Okay, so let's try and make sense of this mess. Yeah, it's a good thing you go mainly by commons and uncommons. Okay. Alright, first up, green white. So let's see. First we'll start Shed of Weakness or Shed Weakness. Find Pump Spell, 1 mana for +2/+2, and remove a -1/-1 counter. Cartouche, obviously pretty good. Makes a token and gives your creature +1/+1 and first strike. Gift of Strength, yeah, okay combat trick. +3/+3 gains reach, but instant, so can save a lot of creatures in combat. Sunset Pyramid, sealed, can be a little slow. This is a nice way to just, you know, get cards back in your hand. And the Scry one, always nice. Impeccable Timing, removal, it's better in this set than it has been before, just because there's a lot of low toughness things. Vizier of Remedies, kind of needed just another body, so 2 mana for a 2/1, that's fine, and has an upside of, you know, just kind of hosing an entire -1/-1 deck. Initiate Companion, 2 mana for a 3/1 isn't great, but if it does hit a player, you do have to untap a creature or land, which is nice because they're, you know, for exert. And also it is a cat, so that'll come in handy later. Hope Tinder, 2 mana for a 2/2 is always good, and, you know, untap target land, mainly just for, because you have to pay once, mainly for filtering. But if you exert it, you get to untap 2 target lands, which is really good actually. Feral Prowler, not the best attacker, but if it dies, you draw a card, and is also a cat. Naga Vitalist, 2 mana for a 1/2. Tap it, and you get to add a mana of any like land you already control. So, you know, more mana ramping, always good. Spider Grasp, just combat trick. It's a fine one. It's a little expensive, but it does save a creature and can block good flyers. Mirage Mirror. I haven't really got to play with this card, but it looks so good, and I just like, it's always a copy of the best creature on the battlefield, so always nice. Ambuscade, of course, you know, great removal. 3 mana is a little like up there, but if you're just, you know, destroying their creature and then maybe getting in for like a really good attack, totally worth it. And it's, you know, your creature doesn't take any damage from Ambuscade, it's just deals it directly. Game of the Trials, I mean, come on, it's amazing. Pride Sovereign, okay, here you go. It gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control, and if you pay a white and tap it and exert it, you can make 2 1/1 cat creatures with lifelink. So you're, you know, making an army, pumping this guy, you have other cats, so he's already like, could be big if you don't make tokens. Pretty nice. Solitary Camel, 3 mana for a 3/2 is always fine. And, you know, we got 2 deserts here, so there's a chance it could get lifelink, which is always good. Dauntless Aven, 2 of them. 3 mana for a 2/1 flyer is fine, but whenever it attacks, you get to untap target creature control, so anything with exert. You can only give pseudo vigilance, making more mana, stuff like that. Same with the Ritualist, always good. Tap it to add any mana to your mana pool, exert it, tap 2 of any 1 mana to your mana pool. Quarry Hauler, 4 mana for a 4/3, that's fine, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to remove or add a counter from to a target permanent. So I don't really think there's a way to make -1/-1s here, but you know, for Gideon, something like that. Brick counters. Steadfast Sentinel, 4 mana for a 2/3, that's not great. It does have vigilance, and you can eternalize it, so it's basically like having 2 creatures on 1 card, which is nice. Aven of Enduring Hope, 5 mana for a 3/3 flyer and sealed. I'll take that, and gains you 3 life. And lastly, Rampaging Hippo, 6 mana for a 5/6 with trample, always good, and has cycling. Now, I'm trying to stay to just 2 colors, but I was thinking maybe there's a few cards I could cut just because like those like instant combat tracks and stuff. And I mean, red has some good removal. You got a desert here. I mean, 3 spells, cut 3 cards back. You have a Naga Vitalist, you have a Ritualist, you have the Hope Tender. I mean, you're kind of getting there. I mean, technically, Mirage Mirror, if you really need it to be, could be a mana fixer, but I think I'd rather stay with 2 colors, but it is something to think about. Okay, I really like this one. This is Boros, you know, one of my favorite color combinations, and it has a really nice curve. Fills out like everything. I'm not like, I don't know about that. No, pretty much everything here I would probably want to play. You already know the white, so let's go over the red mainly. You got 2 cartouches. You got the Zeal here. I mean, not the best cartouche, but does give +1/+1 and makes it so something can't block. Very nice. Blur of Blades, 2 mana for an instant. Put a -1/-1 counter target creature, and deals 2 damage to that creature's controller. So you're dealing damage to an opponent at least, and maybe making something smaller. Mainly using this as a combat trick to kill something after combat or save your creature by making theirs smaller and killing it. Braid, I mean, amazing removal. 2 mana to do 3 damage or destroy target artifact. Sunset, Impeccable Timing, already talked about. Vizier still in there. Struggle, once again, amazing removal. It just, as more lands you get, the bigger it gets. The survive part, I mean, you're not going to play it because you're not running green, and if you did have green, it's not that great. Thresher Lizard, 3 mana for a 3/2, that's always fine. And then it has the upside of if you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand, it's a 4/4. So yeah, I'll take that. Combat Celebrant, 3 mana for a 4/1, so can die pretty easily, but if it hasn't been exerted this turn, you may exert it as it attacks. When you do, untap all other creatures you control, and after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Okay, so basically, you attack, exert, you get another combat step, and then say you have other exerters, they get to untap again, and you can exert them again. Sadly, I don't think I have any other exerters, so that kind of sucks. Oh, I guess the Crasher does, but other than that, no, not really. Pretty good card, though. Extra combat step, always good. It's just that you're going to get that once, and it's probably going to die. Goes well with the Dauntless Avens. Uncrop Crasher, 3 mana for a 3/2 with haste, and when it attacks, you can exert it, and target creature can't block. Mirage Mirror again, of course. Gideon, Solidarity Camel. We got 3 deserts now, so that helps that out. Frontline Devastator, 4 mana for a 3/3, which, you know, Hill Giant. And it has a Flick 2, so if it does get blocked, it still does 2 damage. And you can pay 1 in red, and then give it +1/+0 until end of turn, which, I mean, not that exciting, but it's sealed. Can go a little bit long. Just makes this guy better. Sand Strangler, 4 mana for a 3/3. Again, a Hill Giant, but if you have a desert, it deals 3 damage to target creature. Oh, so good. It's one of those cards you just want to keep in your hand till you get a desert, and it kind of hurts sometimes. And Steadfast, we talk about. Manticore Eternal, 5 mana for 5/4. That's fine. And it has a Flick 3, so if it gets blocked, you get 3 damage through still. And it attacks each turn, each combat if able. I mean, yeah, sure, you're going to attack with this no matter what anyway. Gilded Caradon, 5 mana for 4/4. Not as good, but if you have a desert, target creature can't block this turn when it attacks. So, very good. And lastly, Granitic Giant Titan. So, okay, 6 mana for a 5/4 with Menace. And has Cycling too. So, pretty aggressive, I feel like. Just get through a lot of things. Lots of removal. It's a really good deck. I really like this one. Alright, so we got blue-white here. Usually really like this combination because it's a good Flyers deck. Sadly, this is not. We've added a couple of white cards because blue was just lacking so much. You got the Mummy, Paramount. 2 mana for 2/2 is always fine. And when another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Added a Disposal Mummy for that effect. 3 mana for 2/3. Exile target card from a graveyard whenever opponent's graveyard when it enters the battlefield. So nothing exciting there. And then added, we have the 2 Spellweavers here. They're zombies. I mean, a Flick 2, it's a 2-drop. That's fine. It's going to die a lot though, and the prowess doesn't help too much. Strategic Planning. 2 mana, sorcery. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them in your hand, the rest in the graveyard. Ugh, don't like that too much. Cartouche Knowledge. There you go. There's a good blue card. 2 mana, enchant creature, and when it enters battlefield, draw a card, enchant creature gets +1/+1 and flying. Yeah, that's great. Aerial Guide. 3 mana for a 2/2 flyer. Always good. And whenever it attacks, target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. Got the mirror again. Everything else is still the same for white. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flyers now. Not bad. Avon Reedstalker, 4 mana for a 2/3 flyer with flash. Not exciting also, but a workhorse gets the job done. Naga Oracle, 4 mana for 2/4. When there's a battlefield, you look at the top 3 cards of your library, putting a number of them into your graveyard, the rest back on top of your library in any order. I play with this card. It doesn't look exciting, but it really helps out when you're just like, I need some cards, and you know what's coming next. Boom, put them in order. You're good to go. Captain's Last Word, 2 blue sorcery, gain control of target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Land control to untap. Great card, just amazing. A bomb, it can steal their bomb, which is always good. I played one game where I had one, took their Bantu, and then he played one and took back his Bantu. Yeah, that was fun. Hieroglyphic Illumination, 4 mana, draw 2 cards instant. A little slow, but sealed, who cares? You can play 1 blue to cycle it to draw a card. So. And lastly, Cryptic Serpent, 4 blue for a 6/5, and 1 less to cast for each instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. It's fine. It can, win you games just because they have no way to deal with it late game. But, like I said, not really a fan of this. Usually it's flyers, and it's very lacking in everything, really. Alright, here we have black-white. It's fine. White is the same as usual. I actually took out the Disposal Mummy and the Mummy Paramount. Not sure it would be take out the Grizzlies and add them just to have synergy with the Paramount. That's really it, because you got 2 Eternals and the Stir Sands. But I feel like the Survivor, a little bit better. I mean, 3 mana for a 2/3, that can become a 4/3? Yeah, anyway. We got a Rune Rat. Love that card in sealed. Just can kill anything early or late game. We've got 2 Eternals, so that's nice. 2 2-drops that have a Flicked 1, and they're zombies. Not that matters. 2 Grizzly Survivors. There's some cycling, not too much, no discard, so. Blighted Bat, 3 mana for 2/1 flyer, pay 1 to give it haste. Eek, I mean, it can do damage sometimes, but it's not that great. Unburden, 3 mana for sorcery, target player discards 2 cards. I guess you can make yourself discard 2 cards for Grizzly Survivor. There you go. And a cycling too, so just do that instead and cycle it. It gets +2/+0. Bantu's Last Reckoning, of course, great board wipe, great thing to have in sealed. Pitiless Vizier, 4 mana for 4/2 is okay, but if you do discard or cycle, it gains indestructible, which, you know, it can happen a little bit. But, you know, just a fine creature to get through. Grim Strider, 4 mana for 6/6, but it gets -1/-1 for each card in your hand. This card always is just 4 mana for 3/3 usually, which is fine, but it's nothing to get excited about. It's rarely ever a 6/6. Razagast Right, 5 mana for sorcery. You can search your library for a card and put it to your hand, or put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Cycling for 1 black. So, this card, I mean, basically you're going to use this to try and get Gideon or your Bantus when you need it, something like that. It's not the best card. It's really expensive. Kind of sucks you're taking a turn off just to get your best card, but if you need to, you can just cycle it for 1 black, which is very nice. And then lastly, Stir the Sands, 6 mana for sorcery. Create 3 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, or you can cycle it for 3 and a black and create 1 2/2 black zombie token. So, I mean, I wish there was something here that pumped zombies or really cared about zombies, except for just the Mummy Paramount. But other than that, it's an okay deck. I'm not very excited by it though. Alright, this one's interesting. So we got black-blue here. Mainly what this one's going for is cycle discard matters. So we've got 2 Grizzly Survivors. The 3 mana 2/3s that whenever you cycle or discard a card, it gets +2/+0 until the turn. And the Shadow Storm Vizier, which is a blue and a black for a 1/3 flying. Whenever you cycle discard a card, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. That's some nice art. So you got that. Maybe not the best thing to hinge your bets on, but then you just add a bunch of cycled cards. So you have a Scarab Feast here. Exile up to 3 target cards from every single graveyard, cycling 1 black. Okay. You've got this, which helps you draw cards, and Scry. I took out actually Mirage Mirror just because, I mean, I don't really know what you're going to copy that's too great. I guess maybe one of these guys because you need as many as you can. But, I don't know. Cartouche of Knowledge, of course. Awesome. Without Weakness, 2 mana, target creature you control, gain indestructible till end of turn. And has cycling 2, so another cycler. Rune Rat, Eternals, Sea of the Last Tomorrow, 3 mana for 1/4, pay 1 blue, tap it, discard a card, so discard a card, there you go. Target player puts top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. I wish it was draw a card or something. Milling, don't really care too much, but, you know, whatever. Aerial Guide, fine attacker, on Burden has cycling. Bantu, Avon Reedstalker, another fine workhorse. Sadly, goes in your graveyard, doesn't discard. Kefnets is awesome. Illumination can cycle for 1, so another cycler. Vizier here cares about cycling, so it's only gain indestructible, so not that great. Grim Strider, I mean, if you're getting rid of cards by discarding, cycling doesn't help too much, but can get bigger. The right, and has cycling for black. Stir the Sands has cycling, and then Cryptic Serpent cares about instants or sorceries in your graveyard, so if you're cycling away to your graveyard, discarding, I mean, pretty good, get that guy out pretty early. So, an interesting deck, nothing I would run, but it looks like it could maybe be fun, maybe work once in a while, but not very consistently. Alright, we got red-black here. Let's talk about what I cut from black before. Mainly the right, just because, I mean, we're mainly getting Bantu, Last Reckoning, and then 2 Survivors, just because, not excited by them. And red has much better creatures. So Cartouche of Zeal, you know, 1 mana, +1/+1 haste, and target creature can't block this turn. Pyramid is back in, as long as the mirror, just because, I mean, I can copy some pretty big creatures here, so that's nice. Blur Blades, like I said, 2 mana, -1/-1 counter, uses a combat trick, and then you get 2 damage in, always nice. A Braid, amazing removal spell. Struggle, another amazing removal spell. Thresher Lizard, just a good creature. Combat Celebrant, can't really do any like unexerting, like untapping shenanigans, but if you can use this to get extra combat with some of these creatures, really good. Uncrap Crusher, another exerter that, you know, can help get things through. Blighted Bat gets to the cartouche, that's pretty nice. It's about all it can do. Frontline Devastator, once again, pretty good attacker late game. Sand Strangler, sadly only have one desert, so that's probably not going to go off too often, if ever. So, I mean, still a hill giant, just not as good. Vizier, I think we have less cycling now, so that's not as good. Manticore, just amazing attacker. Caradon, also a really good attacker. If you have a desert, which sadly, like I said, we only have one. So these go down a bit actually, so maybe replace them with something, but I still think they're fine enough to put in here. And then the Titan, I mean, you can copy it with a mirror. That's 2 5/4s come at you with Menace. That's pretty good. So not a bad deck. It looks like kind of aggressive, just like it's mainly trying to push through, break some defenses, and just get in there and do damage, which is, you know, always fine to do in sealed. Just, you know, what Rakdos does. All right, we got green-black. This one, we got enough cards, 23 barely, but it's just there's no synergies going on here. I mean, you have mana pumping to get to Stir the Sands or Hippo, which are fine, but you have no 5-drops, which really sucks. You have a Pride Sovereign who needs white to activate its ability, so you would probably just throw in a white because you have a Ritualist, you have a Hope Tender, which actually doesn't really help too much, and Violet doesn't really help too much. Yeah, so throw in one white, pray for the best that you can do that, because then it's, you know, a little bit better. Still got the cats. Yeah, I don't know, just very unexcited. Like, it looks okay on paper. Like, okay, yeah, you got some creatures, you got not much removal. Black had like the worst removal for these right here, but yeah, I just wouldn't run this. It's unexciting and has no synergies. Just kind of looks like a bunch of things thrown together. Has a nice curve, just except for the missing 5. All right, so we got a combination here I usually love. Green blue, it's usually just like getting rampers or ways to get lands on the battlefield to just play really big creatures or really big spells earlier than usual. But sadly here, we have some rampers and color fixers. We have no 5-drops. We have 1 6-drop, which is a fine card, but it's not going to win your game usually. And a 7-drop, which might actually be worse because it has no evasion. So, got Desert. Deck doesn't care about deserts. We've got Spellweaver Eternal. Blech. Spellweaver. We got this card. It's only in here because I need another card, and I decided to add a creature. We've got the River Hoopoe, which I love this card. Green and a blue for a 1/3 flying. 3 green blue. You gain 2 life and you draw a card. So, I mean, as much as I love this card, I can't play this deck just because of it, because there's no synergies here. It's just a bunch of cards thrown together, it looks like. I don't really know what the plan would be. Maybe mirror making copies of my Hippo. Pride Sovereign needs white, so you gotta throw a white in here. Yeah, it's just not doing a lot, sadly, and I just would not play it, even though I usually like this color combination. Alright. Alright, we got red-blue here, and with this deck I wasn't sure if I should add the 2 Eternals here. The 2 mana 2/1s with Prowess and Afflict 2. The deck does have a lot of spells. I mean, you got, or non-creature spells I should say, because there's only 13 creatures, which is a little light. And I don't know if the Prowess is good enough on these to add them. It's sealed, so it goes all along. These get outclassed pretty fast. Yeah, let me know what you think. We'll go through the deck now. Got the Zeal, so non-creature. You got another cartouche of Knowledge, pretty good. You got a Braid, excellent removal. Blur Blades, you got 2 of them. Now, I don't know if I want to run 2 of them. Maybe take out 1, add Eternal, but then it makes it less good because of the Prowess. I don't know. Sunset Pyramid. Bloodwater Entity, very nice. 1 blue red for a 2/2 with flying and prowess. See, there you go, more prowess. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may put target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. So another trigger to do prowess there later on, and maybe just get a good, removal spell like struggle. Got the Crasher, so things can't block. Thresher Lizard, which maybe you're emptying your hand because all the spells you have. Combat Celebrant, not much going to go on there. It's just going to die. Aerial Guide, nice to give things flying. Sand Strangler, got 2 deserts now, so a little bit better. Frontline Devastator, we already talked about. Awesome card. Flyer, helps you get what you need. Just takes their bomb. Drawing spell, cycling. Caradon has another desert, so that's good too. Manticore Eternal, just getting through for damage. Cryptic Serpents, you have more sorceries and instant spells, so it's going to get the cost down faster. And Titan, just going to go through. Now talking about it, I feel like the Eternals should go in here, but I don't know what to replace. Maybe a Blur of Blades and maybe the Mirror? Yeah, I don't know if the Mirror is going to do too much. But there's also a non-creature spell. Yeah, maybe the Mirror. I don't think it really fits too well in this deck. But yeah, let me know which one you think. I like it. I could see running this deck. It looks pretty fun. But I don't think I'm like really sure on it, winning. So there we go. Alright, we got our last combination here. Green, red, and cut the Zeal. I don't know. I need to cut a card. Can't figure out if I should cut the Zeal, Shed Weakness, or maybe the Prowler. I like the Prowler just because, helps the Pride Sovereign. Got the Companion, helps the Pride Sovereign. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward deck. It's basically just getting creatures down, removing their creatures, and just getting through for damage, which is why I kind of like the Zeal, just because it makes something can't block. This is mainly just attacking to kill you. I like the Mirror here just because, exerting creatures, you exert the Mirror and it goes back to not being a creature and gets untapped. Just really nice. Yeah, it's a fine deck. I really like it. This will probably be my second or third favorite. I still think the Boros is my favorite, but this one's not bad. I really like it. All right, so there we go. Let me know which one you think you like the best, or if there's another, like maybe a 3-color combination or something else you saw. I was just trying to stick away from 3 colors. It's just, I don't know, it's just really hard. I don't really like it without really good fixing, basically. Like a Traveler's Amulet would have helped. Alright, so Boros is what I'm going with. I love Boros, but usually not in sealed because I'm not really aggro in sealed. I feel like it just goes way too long and you get just outpaced. But for Hour of Devastation, it feels like it's pretty doable, actually. There's just so much removal and so many good creatures that can get through that, games can go fast. Also, having a Gideon doesn't hurt too much. The Celebrant, I really want to oh, I have to go red because of him. But all that removal in red and the pretty good creatures, you gotta go with that. Let me know which deck you liked out of those 10 I did. And I'll take one of them, or just a combination of them, to F&M, play against someone else, give them a sealed pool to play with, and we'll just play against each other. I'll let you know how it goes. Don't know if I'll record it, but definitely know how it goes. Also, this is going for my Crack-a-Pack for July, because I was a little late, and I didn't want to do Crack-a-Packs because this set kind of just came out like a week ago, and I haven't got to draft it too much. So go to patreon.com/boosttutor. Might be too late now to donate $2 or more to get into a drawing to win everything open there. So the Gideon. If you want to follow me on Twitter, booster_tutor, and see you next draft.